我年餅聽翻嚟啦嘛，你睇開發，年餅開發啊！要聽佢啊！
啊，到咗啦，追人㗎啦！
Michelle, will you get a photo of this if you're not too afraid?
好，人哋放喺度啦嘛，已經得過啦，唔好過啦。
Yeah, 唔好過得啦。She said just on the other side, it's right there. Yeah.
So that's where they were buried?
Prior.
係邊開官網嘅？
啊，後邊嗰度啦。
Oh, he said all the backyard slides.
All of this was Ray.
喺度啊！
係咯，係邊開？即係
Celi. Black butterflies.
Yeah.
即係真會開邊啲上船又可以企下間開車喎。
So Celi was visiting her maternal grandmother's village in Toisan, and we're actually neighboring villages. And one thing I didn't mention is that the order we're doing these interviews is the same order that we visited these villages in China. So you're going on that journey with us. And I'm honored to be interviewing you. I'm really struck by how much intention you put behind everything you do. So I'd just love to hear you share about your intentions and your motivation for joining this program.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not easy growing up in the U.S. when you are not a white man, and I think for me it's been really important to find things about myself that are indisputable. And so that's what this trip was for me, going to China, going to a place that is where I am from. And I definitely found that in this scene that you see here is where my ancestors used to be buried. So my mother went to this village when she was in her 30s, and her relatives had shown her that there were these two graves where her great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather were buried, and so that's what I was hoping to find in my village. And they have since been moved during a land redistribution, but I was able to at least see this area where their bodies were for a very long time. And that place for me was the most significant. And it's a place that I go back to when I'm needing to just find a sense of peace in myself. So another huge reason that I did this program is because of Steve Aoyang. Steve is an old friend of my dad's, and Steve has been in my life since day one, and so it was an honor to have him lead my reading.
Excellent. And what surprised you the most in your experience in your village?
Yeah, I didn't realize how hot and humid this part of China is. And so my mother's grandparents are from Toisan, and my dad's parents are from the Philippines in Lawag, in Ilocos Norte, which is the most northwest point of the Philippines. And so this year I looked on a map, and like the distance from where my mom's side is from and where my dad's side is from is actually shorter than from here to Seattle. And so for me, this trip was really realizing that I'm like from hot, humid weather where we grow rice, and it just gave me like a more concrete sense of who I am. That I am of these two cultures, but it's also regionally, there's something that has impacted my lineage for a very long time.
Great, thank you, Celi.
Thank you, Gina.